Hello and welcome to the channel everyone, I'm your host, The Eradicator, and today we'll take a look at the latest entry in Codemasters F1 series, F1 2021, which unlike its predecessor from last year includes a single-player story mode called Breaking Point, and we'll especially take a closer look at this particular aspect of the game in today's review to see whether it makes it worth grabbing this year's entry to the franchise or not. Anyone familiar with Codemasters know that the studio has been heavily involved in car racing games for the past 3 decades, and one of the key features a lot of their games has been single-player story modes that would take you through the ropes of their games, allowing you to master their mechanics and specificities. There's nothing groundbreaking here, as most games do have rudimentary campaigns aimed at doing just that. Sadly, over the past 2 decades, these single-player story modes have tended to become shorter and shorter, while being duller and duller, if not cringier and cringier, if we're talking about car racing games. However, this one is not, and I'll tell you why. So, the storyline puts you at the beginning in the shoes of Aiden Jackson, a young promising Formula 2 driver who is a contender for the championship title. I would say that I wished Codemasters would have given us more opportunities to race in Formula 2, as it would have maybe familiarized us more with some of the tracks of the game, but it is what it is and we only get to race the final laps of the race. And I like the fact that the game gives you some clear objectives that you have to reach within the race. If you, for example, if you don't reach those objectives, if you fail to do so, you cannot progress. It's a great incentive to just learn how to improve your skills and achieve things that you may not necessarily believe to be possible due to a lack of confidence or experience. I really liked that. Eventually, you signed with one of the lower tier stables of the Formula 1 roster. You have a choice between Williams, Haas, Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri, and Racing Point, which became Aston Martin this year. Once you sign, you will be paired with Casper Ackermann, a veteran pilot who's been around for a long time and was inspired by real pilot Kimi Räikkönen, whom people gave the nickname of Iceman, and not because he's from Finland. Anyway, your new teammate is not too pleased to be paired with a rookie, especially after the infamous Devon Butler, the fictional new hot sensation from the previous in-fiction season, plants the seeds of doubt within the team by playing mind games with both you and your teammate. And this is the kind of drama that is going to fuel the storyline throughout its 2 seasons, in which both teammates are going to sabotage each other's efforts to score points for the team. And this is actually well done, as it was inspired by real situations and rivalries Formula 1's fans have gotten to witness in the past. This authenticity here, as a long-time Formula 1 fan myself, is in my eyes what differentiates this storyline from other racing game storylines, as for one, I did not find it cringy or cheesy, but true to the spirit of what Formula 1 can be. Remember Prost and Senna, Vettel and Raikkonen, Hamilton and Button. That's what it made think of in some capacity, and I loved every single moment of it. The rest of the game is pretty standard for an F1 game. The career mode lasting 10 seasons is still here, with a complement of the My Team mode, which allows you to run your own team, which will join the other 10 teams of the roster, bringing the total amount of cars on the track to 22. It's a mode that I thoroughly enjoyed from the previous game, and I'm glad that it came back again. I particularly like the whole managerial aspect of this mode, which makes you oversee the development of your car throughout the season, as well as the handling of your team's finances, something you don't need to worry about when you play as a simple pilot. I also like the fact that you can hire old legends to drive for you. I'm definitely not going to hire Senna because that wouldn't be realistic, nor Prost because he's way too old now. But I could totally see Jenson Button or especially Nico Rosberg coming out of retirement to drive for me. I like that idea a lot. And he also seems like a great guy who knows about Breton Team Guingamp. I mean, can you beat that, right? Especially as a Breton person myself. Anyway, another detail that I noticed in the game is that the AI finally doesn't seem to be totally invulnerable. On my first race of the season, I've seen Lewis Hamilton suffer from an engine failure just in front of me as he was leading the race, and seeing that smoke coming out of the back of his Mercedes just filled my heart with joy. Back in the old days, it was a common sight for those who played games like Grand Prix 2. You guys will know what I'm talking about, right? But nowadays, it is a rarity, and getting to witness that was awesome. And it's really too bad I was not recording, so you'll have to take my words for granted here. Now, of course, F1 2021 is far from being perfect, and there are a few negatives I've found every now and then that I'd like to report. The first one is that the season calendar is now the actual 2021 season calendar, with some tracks missing like Imola, Portimao, or Jeddah. These will come later in free updates though, but of course I would have loved to play them now. I also noticed that sometimes some elements of the games remain blurry until they finally appear with their intended level of details. I hope that this is going to be fixed in an upcoming patch because it can get noticeable, especially in the paddock when you are looking at your tires on the side of your monitor, for your information screen. I also noticed that historic events, which lets you drive legendary cars from the past, is gone, and that's a shame because I was quite fond of these nostalgia events which let you drive Senna's McLaren, Prost's Williams, or Alesi's Ferrari. They were really cool, and they were a good chance to get to listen the much better sounds of Formula 1 engines of the past, and seeing them gone saddened me a bit. Finally, a quick word on customization too. As I mentioned before, I love the My Team mode. However, I would have liked more options in regard to the logo creation, which is very dull and doesn't really leave much room for creativity. I would have loved maybe some options to add at least a word you could write, or more symbols, or perhaps even the possibility to upload your own emblems. It would have been a nice touch. Anyway, guys, that's all for this review of Formula 1 2021. It's a very solid game here with some of the best of the previous features of the previous games, and the return of the storyline here with Breaking Point, which is pretty solid as well, and reminded me of some real situations in Formula 1. I really believe that real Formula 1 fans are going to enjoy this storyline mode a lot. I would give overall Formula 1 2021 a very good 8 out of 10 here. Not much here to criticize apart from the lack of the Legends cars that I said, and customization, which is not so great, and of course the missing tracks. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Are you a fan of Formula 1? Do you like racing games? Have you played an F1 game before? Let me know everything in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys later for more content on the channel. This is The Eradicator. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is The Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.